we manage our mind, we can change our brain, we can change our DNA. Literally, that's what I've shown in my research. You can literally change your DNA, your blood markers, literally. Einstein spoke about it back in the early 20th century, how each human has this gravitational field, this electromagnetic field around us, and that is basically through us. And when you die, that's not there anymore. And that's the thing that's kind of keeping you alive. The brain is like the magnet, and the field is your mind, and the relationship allows you to express your behavior. And the biggest core thing is that that's the primary source. You never stop thinking. Your mind is always going. You wake up with your mind, you eat with your mind, you choose your clothes with your mind, you go to sleep with your mind. So mind is the source, and if you don't understand and manage it, it's changing anyway, then it's a mess. And if it's a mess, your brain and body are a mess, and you can't achieve greatness. The biggest thing with the mind and managing mind, Lewis, is to accept that depression, anxiety, these are not illnesses. This is the biggest message that I probably have. Mind is the source, and if you don't get mind right, everything else, you can read all the great books you want and go to all the great seminars and self-help, but unless your mind is right, you won't ever use that stuff. It's just data. There's another step missing, and it's understanding that autonomy, that sense of agency that we have to manage what's going on around us, and to accept part of mind management is not to make the bad stuff go away, but to know how to live in the bad stuff, because it's not going away. So despair, anger, depression, anxiety, these are all completely normal responses. In fact, they're very helpful. They're helpful messengers and warning signals, as opposed to being scary illnesses. They are not neuropsychiatric brain diseases like we've been told. They are actually responses. We use our brain and body to express them, because we've got, the mind has to have the brain and body to build the thought from. We use that to speak. We're using our physical to store what we've processed and to convert and then to speak. But because our brain's neuroplastic, and if you change your mind, you can immediately influence your biomarkers. This is inside their brain, and the blue represents someone who's totally depressed, flatline, brain flatline, literally. But this shows that the energy levels in the brain are very flat. Blue means a very, very depressed, and this person was. Their narrative was tremendous trauma in their life. They were offline, they were battling with work, relationships, sleep. This person's, when we looked at their DNA and we looked at their telomeres, they will tell you how the shorter they are, the weaker your cells, the shorter your lifespan, the more vulnerable you are to disease. Their telomeres were short and unhealthy. The actual age was in their mid-30s, but their biologic age was sickly 70-year-old. Within 9 weeks of mind management, no, I don't use drugs, but in this particular clinical trial, it was pure mind management, just the neurocycle. Just get your mind under control. And that gray means that their brain stabilized. By 63 days, and these numbers are very significant, they were actually seeing behavior change in their life. They were saying, okay, so I know I'll still get depressed, but I know why and I know what to do. And there was changes in their behavior. They were back at work. They were back sleeping, 25% improvement in sleep. Their relationships were not suicidal anymore. And I mean, I can go on and on and on. So with mind management, in 9 weeks, we showed how you can literally change your telomeres, which are your markers for aging and for mental health and physical health. If you look at the science, there's a large body of science. In fact, if you interpret all the science around this field and you really look at what's being tested, we want this quick fix mentality. So as medicine has advanced and technology has advanced, so we've become very caught up in the quick fix. But mind is not like that. Mind is separate from brain and body. Here pandemic. We all know that everyone's going on about the next pandemic is mental health. Mental health has always been an issue. Notice from the beginning of time, mankind has battled with life, with fighting, with war, with whatever. So mental health's not on the rise. But the mismanagement of mental health, making it a disease, has created a whole new problem. Before the pandemic, they started doing a population study in the mid-90s, and this is when I was still early days of my practicing, sort of 10 years into my work, and I was watching the study, decades-long trend of people living longer. So we know, we all hear this message. This is what we've heard. People are living longer because of the advances in medicine and technology. None of us question that, but something happened in 96 that did start questioning that. By the mid-2000s, it was an established, researched fact that we don't live longer anymore, that the trend of people living longer has actually reversed. People are dying from preventable lifestyle diseases, and the age group most being affected are between 24 and 65. So we have to look at the lifestyle disease means that there's something in our body that's weaker. Why? Lifestyle, which is mind-driven. How am I eating, drinking, sleeping? But more than that is, what's my mind behind all of that? How am I actually managing the day-to-day moments? How am I managing the patterns, the traumas, the established toxic habits? What am I doing about that stuff?